3 minutes! The Conjuring, last rites. Let's go. There is a war in duality, or rather Warren duality, at the core of its film, and it's the same one providing the narrative centre and greatest obstacle to all Conjuring films, which is the storytelling struggle between an immediate threat and the overall legacy of the Warren family. Welcome back to RVW Movies, home of the 3-minute movie media. I'm Reece T, and I just watched all 4 Conjuring movies in one day, so please help me make that worth it, and like, share, comment and follow on Instagram, TikTok, Letterboxd and on YouTube. If there is one thing you can say about all Conjuring movies, is that they have reflected industry trends across their lifespan, whether in horror or cinema as a whole. The first arrived alongside Insidious and Sinister, a new dawn of jump-scare horrors that established a new wave of franchises and the influence of director James Wan. That reflection can also be seen in the naming of the films, as subsequent sequels followed the mainstream by moving away from numbered installments and into straight subtitles. Now, a new cinematic trend has emerged in the growing popularity of legacy send-offs, and once again, this wider idea is present within this series. However, that war in duality, as mentioned earlier, and the struggles coming with it, have proven detrimental again, this time to the film's designs on the legacy send-off. Another family finds themselves at the mercy, or lack thereof, of a vengeful spirit, requiring the presence and skill of demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. However, as before, too much time elapses in the company of one family at the expense of the other, and seeing as how much time passes between each Conjuring film, there's too much heavy lifting for the script to do in order to both refamiliarise us with the Warrens and to make it feel like this whole series has been leading to a climactic payoff. This isn't helped by the episodic feel of these films, with each demonic antagonist arriving as something of a villain of the week. The series has lacked an overarching threat, with no omnipresent demon challenging its leads. All 4 films also in some way label their central spirit as the Warren's gravest threat of all time, and this false escalation makes it hard to believe that that's actually the case now. The subtitle Last Rites here carries so many meanings that it actually verges on pun, yet the film never feels like the concluding last hurrah that it is perhaps most intended as. But The Conjuring has also evolved in an era where binge-watching and docuseries, particularly those with a supernatural tinge, have thrived. So this episodic storytelling, combined with the real-life inspiration behind it, has in fact benefited what is now the highest-grossing horror franchise of all time. Such narratives excel with the familiar as well, encouraging viewers to spend more time with the same characters, and it's plain to see why people care about this family. They're easily likeable, with Patrick Wilson and particularly Vera Farmiga being among the most underrated modern screen stars, and it's difficult to begrudge they are finding the professional and financial stability of a franchise. The series also taps into that eternal audience lust for the cinematic thrills and adrenaline of jump-scare horror, meaning that as patronising as this may sound, for better or worse, the one thing you can take from this Conjuring film is the exact same thing you might expect from any other.